We've got a huge opportunity with internal communications in the UK government. It should be exceptional. It should be a part of the communications profession where we can say, look, it's hugely effective in terms of the campaigns we run. It's efficient in terms of demonstrating the return on investment that we can deliver. More motivated staff, more informed staff, more engaged staff. And I want to help internal communicators on that path because we want to significantly improve the professional development and the sharing of best practice that is available to them. So to that end, we'll start this month a major change programme for the whole government communications service, a reform of government communications that will bring into being a government communications service, a single unified body for all government communicators, and that is the start of a process which I think will significantly improve government communications. I don't think that sort of strategic advice and operational delivery are necessarily separate. I expect our communication staff to be great writers and trusted advisors. Now, the further up the management tree you go, the more it is about advice and the less it is about writing. But I expect every practitioner, and that includes me, to be able to write, brief, blog, tweet, use Yammer, internal communications, whatever it is, because it is a way of testing your advice and your skills into practice. To be credible business partners, many people in internal communications will be familiar the hierarchy you go through. First, credible, regular information is the core that enables our audience, our staff, our colleagues to be able to take decisions that help them and help improve the workplace. Second, if we can run activities that properly engage them and use that interest and energy to shape the development of the organisation, to improve practices, to make things work better, that's the second level. Third, if you can get to a level of empowerment where staff can say, right, we now have enough information and we're trusted enough to get on and do the job ourselves, then that is where you really start to deliver the business benefits, which if organisations get that level, and frankly few do, we can all look back and say they are really best in class. I think we're at a fascinating time in communications. I started as a press officer with a fax, a telephone and a basic computer, and now I look around internally or externally, and Yammer and Twitter and e-newsletters and whether or not things like the press release will survive. I think it is true that basically every communications officer needs to understand content rather than channels, and every communications officer needs to have a thirst and a hunger for developing their skills. I was with a group of communications stars, the next generation of comms directors recently, and they were talking about, well, what do we do as professional development and what courses do we go on? And I said, well, partly it is just the ability to read and soak up the immense and interesting canon of literature about the development of social media and social networks, employee engagement that's out there. So yeah, I think that as society changes, as media splinters, then I think that there has to be a more generalist approach to communications.